Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and this is part 5 and the last part of my Bundesliga preview for season 24-25. We have already done 4 parts and we have discussed the other 13 teams. So if you want to have a look at it, you can go and check them out. I will put the links in the description below. In this video, we are gonna concentrate on the 5 teams that are qualified for the Champions League last year. Borussia Dortmund, RB Leipzig, Bayern München, we have Stuttgart, and of course the champions are Bayern Leverkusen. We're going to see all the signings that they have made and the managerial changes that have happened at the clubs, and we're going to see how the what impact these changes are going to have on the league as a whole and their clubs as well. So a lot to talk about in this video, so let's get right into it. We are going to start with Borussia Dortmund. If you look at the league form for Borussia Dortmund, I mean that was not a good season for them. They finished 5th in the league, and they got lucky. They got qualified for the Champions League because of the UEFA coefficient that Germany got, and that is why they were able to come into Champions League. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to qualify. But in terms of the Europe, they were the finalists of Champions League after about 12 years. When they played Bayern München, and they lost that final, and unfortunately for them, they lost this final as well to Real Madrid, and they finished the season trophyless yet again. In a way, you can say it was sort of a successful season. I mean, reaching the European final is quite a big deal. But then again, they did not win anything, any trophy, and then they finished 5th as well. Which, if Germany hadn't got that coefficient from UEFA, they wouldn't have been in the Champions League this season. So I think that it was like a mixed bag of a season, and I think that is the reason why their manager Edin Terzic decided to leave the club with mutual consent. And they now have a new manager in Nuri Sahin. He's a former player. He has played for Borussia Dortmund. He's quite a good midfielder. He played for Liverpool as well. He was the assistant manager for Borussia Dortmund for the last 1 year. So he has been at the club, and he knows, like he has been working under Terzic, so he has an idea. I think this is going to be his first foray in professional football as a manager. So it's quite an exciting thing for him and for the club as well, to bring sort of a legend of the club back into your managerial role. Speaking of legends, this is going to be the first season where Marco Reus is not going to play, and then Matt Hummels is also not going to be there. Both of their contracts were finished, and they have decided to leave the club. There has also been another departure in the form of Niklas Fulger. He has gone to West Ham United for about 27 million euros. So there have been a lot of departures from the club of the people that were really important and that really mattered at the club. So it's sort of a new era under Nuri Sahin, and they have made sure that they bring in new players for him. They have brought in a 21-year-old striker, Maximilian Beer, from Hoffenheim for about 21 million euros. I think that is quite for 29 million euros, sorry, and I think that is a quite a good deal. He scored 16 goals last season, provided 10 assists, so he had a good season, and he's just 21-year-old. And you know about Dortmund that they bring in these young players and they make them superstars, and I think this is going to be the case with Beer as well. They have also brought in Walter Anton and Serhon Guirassy, both of them coming in from Stuttgart. Guirassy had a great season himself last season, and they have brought them both in at the club. They are both not only are they both good signings, they also weaken their rivals as well, so that is a good thing for them as well. Pascal Gross has come in from Brighton, and then they have gone in and brought in Jan Koto from Manchester City on a loan deal with an option to buy. So they have gone ahead and they have spent money. They have backed Nuri Sahin, the management, properly, and I think their squad is quite good enough. I think this year they might go ahead and challenge for the title. They might not have a similar season as compared to last year, where they were really bad, to be very honest, in the league. And as I said, they got lucky that Germany had that coefficient from UEFA. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been in the Champions League, so it would have been a disaster for them. But this year, I think they are gonna go ahead, and I think they are gonna challenge for the title. My predictions, in my mind, I think they could be the champions as well. So we'll see where I put them in my prediction video, which is of course gonna come later tonight. We'll see about that one. The second team that we are gonna talk about in this video is the RB Leipzig. They finished last season at 4th position, just 2 points above Borussia Dortmund, and they qualified for the Champions League as well. This is Marco Rose's. This is going to be Marco Rose's third season at the club. He has done a very well since he has come on, and he would want to have a better season as compared to last year. Maybe get into the title picture as well. So it's going to be quite an interesting season for them. In terms of transfer, they have not really brought in any any meaningful signings have not been made by Leipzig. So that's a drawback for them. And of course, they have lost Dani Olmo for 40 million to Barcelona. I think that's a big loss for them, and I think it might affect their form and their performances in the season. Till now, they have not replaced him. As I said, the signings that they have made are like mostly 19-year-olds or 20-year-old young French player that can help you in the future, but not in this season, to be very honest. And I think they as I said, they have not replaced him. They still have time. They're about like 8-9 days for the transfer window to end, so it will be interesting to see what they decide to do, whether they stick with the same squad or they go out and buy someone. Even if they don't go out and buy someone, I don't think they are gonna have that much of a bad season. I like, it's sort of a spoiler. I think that it's the top 5 is gonna be the same. I just think the positions might interchange a bit. So that is why I think Leipzig, even if they don't go out and buy someone, I think they are gonna still have a good season. Moving on to Leipzig, to a team that had one of the worst seasons for them, Bayern München. I mean, in respect to Bayern München, like, it was a disastrous season for them. Not only they did not just win the they did not win the league last year, they went trophyless for the first time in 14 years. And I mean, for a club like Bayern, it's not acceptable. Of course, Tuchel got the sack, and the thing that in a way worries me and like that shocked me is the replacement that they have brought in. They have brought in Vincent Kompany, and I mean, like, I'm still baffled. I really don't understand this appointment. He was Burnley's manager. He got relegated with Burnley, and now he's at Bayern Munich. He's a good manager, there's no doubt about that, but the expectations at Bayern Munich are too high, and for them to go out and bring Vincent Kompany, is he up for the job? I think that is going to be the biggest question of the season in Bundesliga. Will he survive a full one season? I'm quite skeptical about this appointment. I really don't see him doing really well. He might prove me wrong, and he might go ahead and win the league with Bayern, but I think it's going to be quite an interesting season with Kompany at the helm at Bayern. Of course, their transfer business has been really good. They have gone out and brought in Olise from Crystal Palace for 53 million euros, Paul Elina for 51 million euros from Fulham. Harika Aito has come in from Stuttgart for 24 million. Then Brian Zaragoza, Eric Dyer. Zaragoza came in for 12 million euros from Granada. Dyer comes in on a free. So they have puffed up their squad. Like, they have made a good signing as well. They have also sold Dilit and Mazurai to Manchester United for a combined fee of 60 million euros. So they get their balance sheet in a way they get reduce their losses. Malik Tillman has also joined Eindhoven for about 12 million euros. So it has been interesting transfer window from them, but as I said, my question is still on the manager. It's like it's going to be one of the biggest talking points of the season, how Kompany is going to do at Bayern München, and I'm really excited to see how he does. I wish him well. There's like no bad blood or anything, but I am just with the other managers around him. I think it's going to be a tough for Vincent Kompany. We have Nuri Sahin at Dortmund, a new manager, and then you have Vincent Kompany at Bayern München, a new manager. I think these two new managers at these two big German clubs, it's going to be very interesting in the Bundesliga this year. The next team that we're going to talk about is Stuttgart. I mean, they finished last season at 2nd place, and I personally think that they overachieved last year. They have a very good good team, and Sebastian Hoyniem's first season was very good. He did a spectacular job, and I don't think with the squad that they have, they should have finished so high. But as I said, he did a great job with him. They of course have lost very important players. Aito has gone, all Anton, and then then Gerese, all of them have left and they have gone and joined their rivals. So it's quite hard for them to lose such important players. They have gone ahead and they have brought in players, so like it's not like they've just sat back and done nothing. They have spent the money as well, bringing in Emricen Denonovic. Of course, I have Emricen Denonovic, of course I'm butchering his name, so sorry to the Stuttgart fans, but he's a striker from Augsburg. I know, I will try it again. Emricen Denonovic. Again, I'm butchering it. I'm 100% sure I'm not saying that name right. But he has come from Augsburg. He was quite good there. He scored about 10 plus goals there as well. They have also permanently signed Dennis Undav from Brighton. So that's a good signing as well. They have brought in a winger, Jamie Lewing as well from Union Berlin. And they have gone ahead and bought 4 centre backs to buff up their defense. So I think, as I said, they have made good signings from the money that they have received for these players. Will they be able to help them stay in the top 2? I sort of doubt it. As I said before, I think the top 5 in the Bundesliga are going to be the same. I just think the positions are going to be interchangeable in my opinion. So I see them dropping a little bit, not that much, but I see them dropping. But you never know. As I said, Bayern may have a new manager. Dortmund have a new manager, so maybe having a stable manager, the guy who was here last year, and having the stability with the same manager and him bringing in his players, I think that might help. But again, as I said, they have lost important players, so that might be a big factor for Stuttgart in this season. And finally, the team that shocked everybody and made history last season, and like history in so many ways. Like they've won their first ever title last year, and then they became the 4th team ever to win the double Bundesliga and the German Cup last year, and then they became the first team ever to win the Bundesliga without losing a single game. Of course, it is Bayer Leverkusen, and not just that, they lost just 1 game throughout the season. That was the Europa League final to Atalanta, and I mean, what a spectacular season that was for Leverkusen and Xabi Alonso. There were big rumors that Alonso is going to move to Liverpool after Klopp left, but he decided to stay, so that is a big advantage for Leverkusen. And again, I think that is going to come into play with Company and with Sahin having both Dortmund and Bayern Munich having new managers. And Xabi Alonso staying there at Leverkusen, having the same squad that he had. There have been no major departures from the squad, so that is good. Their transfer business has not been really that much flashy. They have brought in Alex Garcia from Girona for 18 million euros. I think that is a very good signing. And then Terrier and Belesion, both of them have come in from Rennes for a combined fee of 30 million euros. So as I said, not really flashy, but they have just added up to the squad, getting the depth in that squad and no major departures. I think that is a big advantage for Leverkusen, that not any major players have left the club. So it is going to be an exciting Bundesliga season next time around with these 5 teams. This is sort of a spoiler that in my predictions these 5 teams are the top 5, but just the positions are going to change a little bit. So that I think that's going to be the next video you will see after this one. I really don't know, but I think it will come out by tonight, that video, the Bundesliga prediction this season. So yeah, that is it for me in this video. Let me know what you guys think about all the new signings and the managerial changes, especially at the top 2 clubs. How much effect that is gonna have on the league, and does it help clubs like Stuttgart, clubs like Leipzig and Leverkusen, that Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund, even though they have both have had a great transfer window, they have made a good amount of signings, and good signings. Sometimes they just spend the cash, but the signings are not good. But the signings that both of them have made have been really good. But it's the managers, the both inexperienced managers in a way. Nuri Sahin's first job, and then a Company getting relegated from Burnley, first time coming into the Bundesliga, and both are inexperienced, both at big clubs. So it's going to be quite interesting. Let me know what you guys think about all of that in the comment section below. Like the video, share the video as well, click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything, and please subscribe to the channel. As I keep on saying, I'm trying to get to 150 subscribers before the transfer window ends. We're just like 5 to 6 subscribers away, so it will be really helpful if you could just subscribe to the channel. And that is it from me. Until next time, bye bye.